Alright guys, I got a Country Line 5-foot tiller here, and the extra shaft to hold the tines on has broke. So I'm going to replace that, and hopefully it won't be too big of a job, but it's a lot of tines on here. I believe it's like 26, and they got 2 boats holding them, so you know that's a lot of boats, and it's probably been on there for, I've been had this in 2016, so hopefully they'll come off pretty easy. What I'm gonna do is, I'm down at the hunting camp right now. I'm gonna try to get this shaft off with the tines on it and take it home where I can actually work on it a lot better than sitting out here on the ground in the middle of the hunting camp. So the first thing I gotta do, I gotta get this off. It's got a pin in it that runs the whole way of the actual, I don't even know what you call this, maybe the flap, that's what I'm gonna call it, I guess. And get that off so we can actually get to it without having, you know, to work up under that. So let's get this off and get this job over with. On this side of this little shaft here that goes through to hold this flap up, just got a little pin. We just can move that. And I do have this tiller on 2 blocks holding it up, for the tractor won't have to hold it up. It might leak down. So that's all that is. Hopefully we can take some tension off of that and pull that all the way through with no problem. Let's see if we can get the tension off of that. See how easy this pin come out of here. I'm trying to pick up on it. I need a hammer. I don't know why I thought that was just gonna slide out of there. Let's try some double D40. It's only 3 little circle things that goes through. Woo! We got her. But if that's any indication of what the whole job is going to be like, I'm in trouble. But these are 3/4 inch bolts and nuts. And if, like I say, if I can get it broke off, yeah, I might have to do this manually because it's tough already. And I don't think this Harbor Freight little deal got enough ass behind it to take them off. And you can't get anything else in there. I wish I'd have had my ratchet wrenches or something. I didn't think about that. Okay, that's one. That's 2. There's 4 of them on here, so. Okay, there you go. I'm just taking the time to put these bolts back on these screws, because if not, you'll be looking for bolts and screws and all that kind of stuff. So So hopefully it's loose, so hopefully I can just get it tilted one way or another. All right, we got that one side off. So that's half of the job. All right, let's work on the other side here. It's just the same thing, but this shaft is a lot longer and a lot more heavy, so well, you have to watch out for that, I guess. I didn't think it'd pop out of there like that, but it's out. Alright, so we got it off and under there. Well, we have it loose. We haven't got it off and under there yet. But hopefully that's not the hard part. Yeah, so you can see how many bolts they are around this that's holding on these tines. When I get this back home, I'll show you the new one, and I'm just going to do some measurements so I can measure the new one just to make sure it's the right one. So we'll pick this back up once I get it back home, get it on something solid, and probably pressure wash all this mud off of it. Alright guys, as you can see, I'm back at home with the actual shaft to my tiller, and I got everything set up. This is the new shaft, and the actual new shaft comes with new bolts to put it actually back onto the tiller, so that's a good thing. What I got here, I got the new shaft set up on 2 blocks here just to get it off the ground for when I put these ties back on it. Tines, whatever you want to call them, back on it. It's off the ground and I don't have to fuss about trying to do that. But what I'm going to do is, like these ones on the end here are wore more than the ones that's toward the middle. I'm going to just take these ones off the end and put them, like I said, on the middle, 1, 2, 3 on the middle somewhere. And it's the same thing on the other side here. So I guess it wears more on the ends than in the middle. And if you look down this shaft here, you can see that those tines line up at an angle. And that's what's going to happen here. These screws are not lined up in a straight line down. They just offset just a little bit. So I'm going to get this done, and I bought this impact here just for this job. I mean, I'm not going to use it just for this job, but it's a short head for when I can get the actual tool down in between both tines here, just because if it was a regular impact wrench, you can't get it in here, and you had to do all these by hand, which I didn't want to do that because I've done it before and it's not fun. So I bought this. I needed another one anyway, so hopefully that helps everything go quicker. And And these bolts here are 13/16 on the outside, but they're 7/8 on the inside. So remember that. I had to dig deep to find a 7/8 wrench. I mean, it's an old cheap one, but I did have one. If you work on older tractors, this type thing happens a lot with those bolt sizes. So I got everything set up. I'm gonna turn on some music and my fan and see if we can get these things switched over. Okay, there she is. I finally got her done. It took me probably an hour and a half, I guess. And without this, it'll probably took me hours and hours and hours. This was a great investment, and plus I use air tools all the time anyway, so I needed one of these to begin with. But just a couple of things. I had a couple of screws that stripped out when I was taking them out, so I need to go pick up a couple screws to put that last tine on. But if you decide to just take the tines off of the old one all at one time and just put the tines back on the new shaft all at one time, just remember that, which confused me a couple times, I took probably 3 or 4 off the old one and to put it on the new one, that some of the tines are inside the little mounting part right here, and some of them on the outside. I was putting all of them on the inside, and I just happened to notice when I was taking them off the old one that they go opposite. So just remind yourself of that, for you don't put them all on there, all on one side. Then when you think about it, you're like, oh man, I gotta take them off and put one on either side. So like I said, I got them on. All I need to do is go back to the camp, put it on the tiller, and hopefully this job will be done. So we'll meet you guys back at the hunting camp where I got the tractor at on the tiller. Alright guys, so we're back at the hunting camp, and I got all the tines on the new shaft, and we're going to try to put it up on this tiller here. So looking at it, I have to raise it up and try to get this up on the bottom of it, and that way I can see how high it needs to be and actually be able to put some supports up under the side of the actual tiller before it doesn't leak down. So let's try to get this shaft in here before we can actually use this thing. I'm not ready to use it right this second, but I want to be able to say I can use it and be done with it. Alright guys, I determined that I'm not going to be able to lift this up, because I tried to lift it up and I can lift up one side, but the other side wants to move. So I did figure out if I just adjust that in a orientation that the tines are not in the way, it will come down, and that way I could probably try to jimmy it in there good enough for I can put a bolt in it or something. So I'm gonna try that first. I'm gonna start the tractor back up and raise it up just a little bit before I get the blocks off and under, and see if I can just ease it down enough where this shaft is in between where I need to get, and hopefully I can just put a bolt, you know, just move it 1 or 2 little inches and put a bolt in it. So let's try that first. I'm awful close right there, so let's see if we can put a bolt or two in it and see if we can actually get it. That way we can lift it up and actually work up under it. So I'm gonna try to get a bolt on this side because that is the drive side. That's probably gonna be the hardest side. This side is free spooling, so I can turn this deal easily. So let's try to get a bolt on that side right there. Okay, we was able to get 2 bolts in this side here and 2 bolts in this side. So we should be able just to get the rest of the bolts in and just tighten them up, and we should be good to go. Alright guys, there she is. She's back together. And if I had to rate this from 1 to 10, this job is probably a 6.5, maybe 7, just cause all the screws you had to take loose to get the tines off the old shaft. I mean, without that new little impact air wrench that I had, I would go up to a 10 for this job, because it would take you so long and you would be so wore out trying to get all those screws off of there. You would think it would be a 10. But with that impact driver, I was able to do this without too much sweat, and the difficulty of doing this by yourself, putting it back up there, it wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna call it right here. She's done. I'm gonna check the oil in the gearbox and make sure to top off all the oil and hit it with my grease gun and have her ready to go for when I need her coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And to the next video, I'm out. Thanks for watching.